Welcome to another episode of Casual Cinephilia, where enthusiastic amateurs talk very passionately about movies. I'm Ian.
I'm Lorian, and today we're talking about Missing Link.
Which was fun. I am a relatively new fan of Laika, because I think I've said it in many previous episodes, that I didn't even realize that they were a thing. I thought they were all Tim Burton stuff.
Right?
But no, it turns out that they're their own studio, and that all the good stop-motion Tim Burton movies that I liked were actually Laika and not Tim Burton. And I think this kind of goes in there with just, it's a good, enjoyable movie. Mm-hmm. You and I were talking a little earlier, and I think we both agree that it's not our favorite.
Right.
Laika, but it's still good. Like,
right.
It's still
I'll
fun
still
adventure.
buy it
Exactly.
when it comes out.
Like, it's hard to critique it. Like, no movie is above critique, but just knowing how it's made and...
Right. It's technically such a marvel that anything is on the screen that even if you're like, well, there were some weird beats there, you're like, but those weird beats took a year to put there, so...
Yeah. No, totally. But all in all, I enjoyed it.
Yeah, me too. I mean, I love, here's a fun thing that listeners might not know, Jenny and Jake.
All three of you.
I love, specifically, North American cryptid legends.
Yes.
So, a Bigfoot movie made by my favorite production studio, I was like, yes, I'm ready for this movie. And I did really enjoy that aspect of it. I thought it was a lot of fun.
Well, and they did a good job of capturing that area.
They really did,
too,
yeah.
Which was cool.
There was one moment. Listen, Laika, if you're listening, I can save your movie studio. Hire me. We're going to build a little jackalope. And we're going to have it hop on for just like 2 seconds in that sustained desert shot while they're leaving.
Yes.
That will make this movie perfect.
You just want a jackalope.
I just want a jackalope. I love jackalopes.
Oh, man.
If there was anything that could have made the movie better, it's a jackalope.
A jackalope. Yep. Before we go any further, spoiler alert, we're going to be talking about everything that happens in the movie. We love spoiling everything that you love. Mm-hmm. So with that going forward, I wasn't expecting the twist of the Yetis being stuck-up assholes. like, I kind of got that kind of gist.
Trailers.
Not really, though. Like, not that they were going to...
I saw it coming based on the trailers.
I guess. But, like, I wasn't expecting them to be such assholes. Mm-hmm. And that made me enjoy the movie a little bit more. Because they were just such assholes.
Yes, they were such assholes.
Like, they weren't even just, like, pretentious, stuck-up, royalty.
Right.
They were just assholes.
They were, yes.
So, it just made the line at the very end when they break the bridge, they killed the bad guys.
Really impressive animation, that bridge.
Oh my god, yeah. Everything about that bridge. Mm-hmm. Like, everything about that was impressive. But after the whole sequence... And it just ends with Susan yelling, "Your utopia is crap!" it felt so good. It was great. It just made that line just hit. It's like, your utopia is crap.
I really appreciated the whole Susan, the name thing. Like, I really loved that. He says, you need a name. Pick... maybe someone who is important to you. He goes through this whole description of this prospector that he had like a moment of no judgment with, basically. Someone who just saw and accepted him, and says that her name was Susan. So he'd like his name to be Susan. And Hugh Jackman's like, I mean, you've seen it in the trailer. That moment's in there. But they just like, that's it. That's all that's said about it. Mm-hmm. It doesn't become a running joke that he's chosen a traditionally female name. It's just that's how it is now. Yep. Well, and I really liked that. It was super sweet.
I'm hit or miss with Zach Galifianakis. he is in some of my favorite movies, and he also can just grate on me.
Right.
I loved him in this movie.
Yeah. He was so lovable.
He was just
he was
adorable.
so sweet. Mm-hmm.
Absolutely adorable. And honestly, the biggest compliment I can say for this was that this whole movie felt like an Abbott and Costello meets Bigfoot.
Right.
But instead of Abbott and Costello meeting Bigfoot, Costello was Bigfoot. And,
Right.
you had the straight man played by Hugh Jackman,
Mm-hmm.
and you had, the funny man by Zach Galifianakis, and
You even had the woman who
Yeah,
knew what was going on and rolled her eyes at both of them.
Right. And it just, some of the comic beats were just spot on.
Yeah.
They were so
They
funny.
were.
The bar fight with the wolf,
Uh-huh.
and the wolf just like saying, fuck it.
Yeah.
I'm switching sides. I was like, ah. It was so funny. Yeah. That, though, kind of goes into what we were saying earlier with some odd things
Mm-hmm.
that happen where it's hard to critique them because it took months
Right.
and you can't just reshoot something, and
Right.
the mere fact that they got this to even look as good as it does is a miracle.
Mm-hmm.
Some of the fight scenes were very floaty.
Hmm.
Like, I don't know, like I think in previous Laika films, especially like Paranorman,
Mm-hmm.
where some of the things happening are very kinetic and it feels like there's weight behind it.
Right.
Kubo
Yeah.
just nails the kinetic feel of fight.
Right.
And some of the fist fights in this, it felt like there was no weight.
Yeah.
Other than when it was Susan doing it.
Right.
But that might have been an artistic choice.
Yeah. It gave me sort of a like Paul Bunyan Great American Tall Tale vibe.
Yeah.
Because those stories never have like heady realism to them.
That's fair.
They're always a little bit floaty.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's true. They used maybe it was trying to balance out the fact that he was so much larger than everyone else and they didn't quite
Yeah.
grade it right, but yeah. There were also some Hugh Jackman's character had some weird development points to me.
Yeah.
He had a thing, and it felt purposeful because it was done so many times, but it wasn't my favorite choice, where he would do something stupid, the chick would point out why it was stupid, he would fix it in that scene, and then the next time something came up, he was back to doing stupid again, and then hearing her, and then changing his ways, and like zigzagging.
I did like, though, that they didn't do the generic guy fixes his mistakes, gets the girl.
Yes, I did too.
Like, it was very much he
that.
fixed his mistakes, and the girl's like, good for you.
Yeah.
And then moved
Hooray,
on.
bye!
Yeah. Like, I thought that was well done.
Yeah.
I was surprised at how many guns.
Yeah.
And,
There was
like-
a lot of like, are they gonna shoot a person in
Like,
this moment?
There's a couple of moments where, like, they
Yeah.
had a gun in your face, like
Yeah.
in the camera's
Yeah.
face. Like,
Right.
it was like, dang, okay. And it made sense because there's
Yeah.
a lot of it set in the Wild West
Uh-huh.
or in,
I mean, it was that explorer and adventurer era.
Yeah.
That's full of guns.
Exactly. So, but it just, I was not expecting that many,
Right.
and really detailed props.
Yeah. Well.
And like loading in the rounds into the revolver. That was a really badass moment when, what's her name? Zoe Saldana's character, Adelina. She, at the train station where she's got the bullets in her mouth and she's like loading. It's like click, 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 click. And like she's about to like face down this thug who's chasing him down. She was a badass character. I liked her character.
She was fun. There was a moment with the thug when he was first introduced where he scratches his bald head and you can see his scalp moving with his hands, and I was like, damn.
There were several moments. So there's a few scenes where the lighting hits their skin. And I forget the term. It's like post-chromatic scattering. It's a digital term for making skin look real, because skin is translucent,
right?
In a sense. And just seeing, there's a moment where like they're backlit and you can see it going through the thin parts of their nose. Yeah. And it just,
they're really
it's bizarre how detailed
they're really good
they're
at details.
getting their characters. Like, I was impressed with Paranorman and Kubo. But what was cool about this one was those were very like small story, not small stories.
No, the
but
scale was within a
was
town
small.
or within, a very select path. This one felt much broader.
And it was cool seeing them do like an Indiana Jones style travel montage. And
I love that elephant. I want
that
it.
Elephant was so good.
I liked the decision to put all the animals' eyes on the fronts of their heads. It was weird, but I really grew to like it by the end.
The Loch Ness Monster took me a second to figure out what was going on there. And then the dude just gets bitten. I'm like, wait, what's going on? Oh, again, it's not my favorite Laika, but I loved this movie. It was
it was a lot of fun.
Was
I really liked
of so much character.
The color design.
Yeah.
Which is a weird thing we don't bring up a lot, but the color design of this movie was really nice.
Yeah.
It was really vibrant. A lot of their movies, because they deal a lot with death and loss and darker themes. So a lot of their movies reflect that in their color palette.
Yeah.
And this one was just so bright. Because it was more like the loss had occurred in the story already.
Yeah.
So it was coming out the other end of it. And everything was very bright and sunny. And then when you reached the part that he thought he was going to, it was white, the brightest of all. But then it was cold.
Yeah.
It was like the brightest color you can get. But then, oh wait.
Yeah.
It was just, I liked it.
Yeah. I mean, they're just so good at their craft that even if they put out, just shorts, there'd be some message in it that is just good, and it's, I don't know, this one, it had that time-worn tale of maybe your family is the people along the journey, not the end destination, and movies have done it before, but the characters were so likable. By the end, it's like, I felt like I was on that journey with them. And I don't know. It was such a loving journey.
Yeah. It was nice. I do wish that they had been more mysterious in their advertising campaign.
Yeah.
They showed a lot of this movie in the trailers. And when those scenes came up, I found myself sort of checking out a little because I'd seen them a bunch already.
Yeah.
But I enjoyed them the first time I saw them in the trailers. So I feel like I would have been able to be more invested. If they had they had a great teaser that was just Susan running through the trees. If they had just had that and then done like a spot with each of the other characters, that would have been great for me. I mean, I know about Laika, so I'm not really sure what their advertising needs are to get people in the theaters. Maybe they felt like they needed to show more of the story to get butts and seats, but I thought it just showed a little too much.
Yeah. I actually saw it this morning, so the day of the recording. I watched it this morning, and there was only 6 people in the theater. It's kind of a bummer.
Thursday at 4 again. This is the second Thursday, day before it comes out, 4 p.m. showing I've found.
That's so weird.
And it's not like this is a huge movie, so 4 p.m. showing the day before release seems weird to me.
Yeah.
But, it was like 7 or 8 people in the theater.
Yeah. It's such a bummer because they are so amazing. But because they put so much effort, so much time into it, I mean, Kubo came out, 4 years ago? 5 years ago?
Something like that. You can find out.
Yeah. It's hard to build up hype. They have, 4 movies under their belt? There's Paranorman, Box Trolls, Kubo. Okay, so 5 with Coraline. And then this one. And